but I am not seeking re-election this fall. And don't worry, I'm not going anyplace. I'm going to finish out my term and get as much fishing in as I can, and time with my grandkids, etc. And I see Big Buzz back there. Yeah, Buzz, we'll get out on the water soon. So, it's a decision. It'll be 15 years in June, and after 10 elections and almost 28 years in politics, I have to admit I've lost the fire in my belly, and it's time on a lot of fronts. And I can remember my days when I played fastball and broomball, and I probably did my politics like I played broomball. I played hard and hit hard, and some people don't like that, but I make no apologies for it. But at some point I knew when to retire from them, and the time is here now in my role as MP. And there's so many people that I want to thank. My EDA, my board members, and I know, I don't know who all is here, but I know some. John Hetherington here front. John was my first president when I decided to run. John had just moved to the area, but after that, I believe was Ross McLean, who I know can't be here today. Pat Palmer, Mary Dixon is here, and I'm missing one in there. Errol Treslin, I don't know if Errol's here. There he is back there. But a whole lot of people have been in the background to make my job easier, and when elections came around, had the finances, what have you, to do it. And I want to, and there's a whole bunch of other people on the EDA, and of course just too many people to mention. And without them, I couldn't have did what I did. And our president Rick Byers back there doing a great job. Great to work with you, Rick, and what have you. So thanks to all those people. My staff, Diane, my longest serving employee, will be, she's in her 12th year with me, and the beggar, she's down south sunning herself today, so. But she'd be here if she could. And she's been my executive assistant, as I said, for almost 12 years, and it's people like her and my other staff that allowed me to do what I can. Because as you've heard me say before, when you're in an MP or MPP, and it's no different if you're a councillor or mayor of a municipality, you're ultimately in the service industry. And I can't, or any elected official can never do it all himself. You need a lot of people in the background. So people like Diane Bizak, who's now living in London, but she was with me for 8 years. She's retired, and now for some time, I always affectionately called her Grandma. She was only about 5 years older than me, but she treated me like I was her son. She was always wanted me to make sure I got enough rest and stuff like that, and we had a lot of laughs. And that's on that subject. We had a lot of serious business that we dealt with in our office, but my staff will tell you that nobody loved a good prank better than I. And I could give or take as appropriate, but I always told people who I hired that if you don't have a sense of humor, then you're working in the wrong office, and you have to mix the two. I got Shay's standing here. Shay's been 4 or 5 years. Shay was in university in Ottawa and worked in her office. Chad, there he is right here. Chad's from Chesley, but was going to school also in Ottawa, and he's been with me now going on 7 years. Clarissa Sukram, who decided to stay home with her 2 young boys about 2 years ago, she was with me for 8 years. And you know, without these people, as I said, I couldn't do my job. And Darlene,
yes.
There you are.
The one with the big smile.
Come up here with you. There's a lot of reasons why I have come to the conclusion that to basically get some more time. And is Brett, are you here? Chesney, would you come up here, please? There's, on top of some of the reasons like losing the fire in your belly and it's time to go on your own terms. Hey, sweetie, how are you? She got out of school to come and listen to Grandpa. And you can see her ice hawks that you're not here for a hockey game. But some of the reasons that I'm making this announcement today is to spend more time with this lady right here, who's tolerated me for almost 44 years. And the other 4 reasons are Chesney, Shaylin, Brooklyn, and Liam. And I'm going to get a when this one here was born, I was in Ottawa and I never got to hold her till I got home on the weekend. And when Shaylin was born, 3 years later, I was in Cape Town, South Africa, and it was more than a week before I got to hold her. And I'm not complaining. There's stuff, anything I ever tackled in my life I took very serious, whether it was playing sports or handling cows or whatever. And I took the job, my role as an MP, no less serious. And there's just some things that have to happen, and I've been very lucky that my family has supported me all the way through that, and when I couldn't be there. But I've missed a lot of birthdays, and you know, probably I've known for some time that I'm going to make this announcement, and I can remember very clearly the day in Ottawa that I, right after question period, I was walking down the steps of the House of Commons to go back to my office or go to committee or something, and I got the call from Darlene that her dad had died, and she was obviously very upset, and you know, not being there through a bad time for her, it was hard. And anyway, it's she said, you stay, and I think it was on a Wednesday, and I went home Thursday night, and of course was there. But it's just things like that. And about 6 weeks ago, I had just come out of a meeting in Comox, BC, in Vancouver Island, and I seen 3 messages on my phone. One from my brother Tom, one from my brother Paul, and one from Darlene. And without even answering them, I knew my dad had died. I said I wouldn't do this. But nobody was a bigger supporter than my dad was, and my mom. God bless them both. And well, I got off Vancouver Island that night. I wasn't able to get home till the next day, and I'll tell you, sitting in a hotel room in Vancouver, knowing all my siblings were together at home, probably one of the hardest, longest nights I ever spent. But anyway, it is what it is. And bottom line is that I'm going to have a lot more time to spend with my 4 beautiful grandkids, and just doing stuff that I want to do. And it's not a sad day, it's a good day. And as I said, I'm not going anyplace. I'm going to be around here at some point. The EDA and the party will set up a nomination race, and I know that we will have good people. And once that, obviously, it would be inappropriate for me to get involved in a nomination race, and I won't. I'll be there to advise any of those that have any interest in it. But once that candidate is selected, I'll be doing 125% to make sure that we elect another Conservative member in this riding and what have you. So thank you to all of you. There's so many people to thank. I obviously can't do it all, but I appreciate all of you coming out here today. And like I said, don't be sad. It's a good day for my family and me, and it's the right decision. So thanks very much.